Here's a question I want you to think about honestly. When was the last time you worked for 2 hours straight, without checking your phone, without opening a new browser tab, without answering a message, and produced something you were genuinely proud of? For most people, that question is surprisingly difficult to answer, not because they are lazy, not because they lack ability, but because the modern world has made deep, focused work almost impossible. Today, we are going to change that, and we are going to do it in English. Welcome. In this lesson, we study a concept called deep work, created by Professor and author Cal Newport. By the end of this video, you will understand what deep work means, why it matters, and how to do it. You'll also learn 30 or more practical English expressions that you can use immediately in your professional and personal life. Let's begin. Part 1. What is deep work? Cal Newport defines deep work in one sentence. He says it is professional activity performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive abilities to their limits. Let's break that definition apart carefully, because every word is useful. The first key phrase is distraction-free concentration. Distraction is a one word that every English learner needs. It means something that takes your attention away from what you are supposed to be doing. Your phone is a distraction. A noisy environment is a distraction. An irrelevant conversation is a distraction. Even your own thoughts can be a distraction. The adjective form is distracting. Something that is distracting pulls your focus away. Here are natural examples of how native speakers use this word. I find open-plan offices extremely distracting. I cannot concentrate with so much noise around me. She put her phone in another room because she knew it would be a distraction. The constant notifications from my apps are incredibly distracting. I had to turn them all off. The opposite of distraction is focus. And distraction-free means an environment or a state of mind where distractions have been deliberately removed. Distraction-free is a compound adjective, two words joined together to describe a noun. In English, compound adjectives before a noun use a hyphen. You will see this structure frequently in professional writing. A distraction-free environment, a well-designed office, a fast-paced industry, a results-driven team. Now, the second key phrase pushes your cognitive abilities to their limits. Cognitive is a B2 adjective that relates to thinking, learning, and mental processing. Cognitive abilities are your mental capacities, your ability to analyze, create, remember, solve problems, and think critically. Push to the limit is a very natural English expression. It means to use something or someone to the maximum possible extent. The project pushed the team to its limits. Everyone worked incredibly hard. Running a marathon pushes your body to its limits. Deep work pushes your cognitive abilities to their limits, and that is precisely why it produces exceptional results. So in simple terms, deep work means working on something difficult and meaningful with your complete, undivided attention for an extended period of time. Cal Newport contrasts this with what he calls shallow work. Shallow work is tasks that are logistically easy, often performed while distracted. Answering emails, attending unfocused meetings, responding to messages. These tasks are necessary, but they do not create significant value. And most people in the modern workplace spend the majority of their day doing shallow work. The key vocabulary contrast here: deep work, cognitively demanding, high value, requires focus, produces meaningful results. Shallow work, cognitively easy, low value, can be done while distracted, produces minimal results. Cognitively demanding means mentally challenging. It requires real mental effort. High value means it produces something important or significant. Cognitively easy means it requires little mental effort. Minimal results means very small or insignificant outcomes. Part 2. Why focus is disappearing. Now I want to explain why deep work is becoming rare, and therefore increasingly valuable. Cal Newport argues that we are living in a massive attention crisis. An attention crisis means a widespread problem with the ability to concentrate, and the cause is something most of us carry in our pocket every single day: the smartphone and the apps designed for it. Were not built to help you think deeply. They were built to capture and hold your attention continuously, repeatedly, relentlessly. Relentlessly is a powerful B2 adverb. It means without stopping, without rest, without giving up. It is almost always used in a negative context, something difficult or demanding that never pauses. The rain fell relentlessly for 3 days. She pursued her goal relentlessly. Nothing stopped her. The notifications arrived relentlessly, one after another, all day long. Every time you receive a notification and check it, something specific happens in your brain. You interrupt whatever you were doing. You redirect your attention. And here's the part most people do not know. After the interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes for your brain to fully return to the original task. 23 minutes for a single interruption. If you receive 10 notifications in the morning and check each one, you'll potentially lost more than 3 hours of focused thinking. Not because you were on your phone for 3 hours, but because your brain never had the chance to return to full concentration. This is what researchers call attention residue. Residue means a small amount of something that remains after the main part is gone. Attention residue means that even after you stop looking at your phone, part of your attention is still there, still thinking about what you saw, still processing the interruption. There was a residue of tension in the room even after the argument ended. The chemical left a residue on the surface of the container. Every interruption leaves an attention residue, a fragment of your focus stuck on the distraction. So here's the situation. The modern world is optimized for distraction. Your phone, your apps, your open plan office, your constant connectivity. All of it fragments your attention. And deep work requires the opposite. Long, unbroken periods of complete focus. This is why the ability to do deep work is becoming rare. And according to Cal Newport, it is becoming rare at exactly the same time that it is becoming more valuable. The people who can focus, who can sit with a difficult problem for 2 uninterrupted hours and produce genuinely valuable work, are increasingly hard to find and increasingly well rewarded. Part 3. The 3 depths of work. Now I want to introduce some practical vocabulary around the concept of depth in work. These are expressions that native speakers use frequently in professional contexts. The first level is what we might call surface level work. This is the shallow work we discussed earlier: emails, routine meetings, administrative tasks. The expression surface level means deal with the outside or the most obvious aspect of something, without going deeper. Our meeting was very surface level. We talked about the problem but never identified the real cause. She felt the feedback was too surface level to be useful. It described what was wrong but not why. Surface level solutions rarely address the root of the problem. The phrase root of the problem is extremely common in professional English. It means a fundamental, underlying cause, the real reason something is happening, not just the visible symptoms. Let's not just fix the symptom. Let's identify the root of the problem. After investigation, they found that poor communication was at the root of all the team's issues. The second level is focus work, tasks that require concentration but are relatively well-defined. Writing a report, analyzing data, preparing a presentation. These are not as deep as true deep work, but they require sustained attention. Sustained is a key B2 adjective. It means continuing for a long time without stopping or weakening. She made a sustained effort to improve her English. She studied every day for a year. The company achieved sustained growth over 5 consecutive years. Deep work requires sustained concentration, not 10 minutes here and there, but hours of unbroken focus. The third level is deep work itself. The cognitively demanding, highly focused, creatively or intellectually challenging work that produces the most significant results. Writing a book, developing a complex strategy, learning a difficult skill, creating something genuinely new. A very useful expression for this level is in the zone. To be in the zone means to be in a state of complete focus and flow, where everything else disappears and you are completely absorbed in what you are doing. I was completely in the zone this morning. I wrote 8 pages without even noticing the time. Athletes talk about being in the zone before major competition, that state of total focus and calm. The goal of deep work practice is to get into the zone faster and stay there longer. Part 4. The 4 deep work strategies. Cal Newport describes 4 different strategies for incorporating deep work into your life. Each one uses a different schedule and suits different types of work and personality. Let's study all four, with the vocabulary you need to talk about them in English. Strategy 1, the monastic approach. Monastic comes from the word monastery, a place where monks live, usually in silence and deep contemplation, completely separated from the outside world. The monastic approach to deep work means eliminating or radically minimizing shallow work from your life entirely, dedicating almost all of your professional time to deep work alone. Radical, as an adjective, means very thorough, complete, or extreme. When something changes radically, it changes completely. She made a radical decision to leave her corporate job and write full-time. The new policy represented a radical departure from previous practice. To adopt the monastic approach is to radically restructure your entire professional life. Very few people can adopt this strategy. It suits novelists, researchers, and academics who have the freedom to control their entire schedule. Strategy 2, the bimodal approach. Bimodal means having two modes, two distinct ways of operating. In this approach, you divide your time clearly between periods of deep work and periods of shallow work. The deep periods might be entire days, entire weeks, or entire seasons of the year. The key expression here is carve out time. To carve out, time means to deliberately create or reserve time for something important, as if you were carving a space out of solid material. She carves out 2 full days each week for focused creative work. No meetings, no emails. He carved out an entire month each summer for writing his research papers. If you want to do deep work, you have to carve out protected time in your schedule. Strategy 3, the rhythmic approach. This is the most practical strategy for most people. The rhythmic approach means creating a daily ritual, a regular, fixed block of time dedicated to deep work, every single day. No exceptions, no negotiations. Ritual, in a professional context, means a set of actions you perform regularly in the same way as a structured habit. It carries a sense of something important and intentional. His morning ritual was non-negotiable, 90 minutes of deep work before any meetings or emails. Many successful writers have a strict writing ritual that they protect fiercely. Establishing a daily ritual for focused work is the single most reliable path to deep work. Non-negotiable is a very powerful compound adjective in professional English. It means something that cannot be changed, modified, or argued about. The deadline is non-negotiable. The client needs a deliverable on Friday. Her boundaries around family time were non-negotiable. Make your deep work block non-negotiable. Protect it like your most important meeting. Strategy 4, the journalistic approach. This strategy is named after journalists who are trained to focus deeply on a story at any moment, regardless of circumstances. The journalistic approach means fitting deep work into your schedule wherever and whenever you can, seizing any available gap and immediately diving into focused work. Seize is a strong be-to verb. It means to take hold of something quickly and firmly, to grab an opportunity before it disappears. She seized the opportunity to present her ideas directly to the director, sees every available moment of focus. Even 20 minutes of deep work is valuable. He was the kind of professional who could seize a gap in his schedule and produce exceptional work. Part 5, How to Start, 3 Practical Rules. Now I want to give you 3 concrete rules for beginning your deep work practice. These are not theoretical. They are actionable, meaning you can use them starting today. Actionable is an excellent be-to adjective in professional and business English. It means practical and possible to act on immediately. The report was full of actionable recommendations, not just observations, but specific steps. I need actionable advice, not general principles. These 3 rules are immediately actionable. You do not need special equipment or a perfect situation. Rule 1. Schedule your deep work like a meeting. The most common reason people do not do deep work is not laziness. It is that they never protect the time for it. Everything else takes priority. Meetings appear, requests arrive, the day fills up, and focus work never happens. The solution is to schedule a deep work block in your calendar and treat it with the same seriousness as a meeting with your most important client. The key expression, block out time. To block out, time means to reserve a period in your schedule so that nothing else can fill it. I block out the first 2 hours of every morning for focus work. no exceptions. She blocked out every Friday afternoon for strategic thinking. Until you block out time for deep work, it will always be displaced by urgent but less important tasks. Displaced means pushed out its place by something else. It is a formal, professional word. The original agenda was displaced by last-minute requests. Deep work gets displaced when it is not protected by a clear schedule commitment. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. This rule surprises many people. But Cal Newport argues that one of the biggest obstacles to deep work is that people have lost the ability to tolerate boredom. Every moment of boredom is immediately filled with a phone, a podcast, a scroll through social media. And when you never allow yourself to be bored, you're constantly training your brain to seek stimulation. The result is a brain that cannot sit with a difficult problem for more than a few minutes before craving a distraction. Tolerate means to accept something unpleasant without reacting negatively to it. It is different from enjoy. You tolerate something difficult. She found it difficult to tolerate uncertainty. She always needed to know the answer immediately. Learning to tolerate discomfort is an essential skill for anyone who wants to achieve difficult goals. If you cannot tolerate 10 minutes of silence, you will never be capable of 2 hours of deep work. The practical application. Next time you are waiting for a coffee, for a meeting to start, for a page to load, resist the impulse to reach for your phone. Let yourself be bored. For 2 minutes, train your brain to sit still. Rule 3. Quit social media deliberately, or at least use it deliberately. Cal Newport is famously critical of social media, but his argument is not moral, it is strategic. His argument is this: any tool, including social media, is worth using only if its benefits significantly outweigh its costs. Outweigh means to be greater or more significant than something else. It is used with abstract concepts. The benefits of the new system clearly outweigh the cost of implementation. The risk outweighs the potential reward in this situation. For many people, the cost of social media in terms of attention and focus outweighs its benefits. He does not say delete all your apps forever. He says be deliberate. Use social media at a scheduled time, for a specific purpose, for a defined duration. Do not let it use you. Deliberate as an adjective means done consciously and intentionally, not by accident or habit. She made a deliberate choice to spend less time on her phone. His progress was a result of deliberate practice, not natural talent. Use technology deliberately, not reflexively. Reflexively means automatically, without thinking, as a reflex, not a choice. Consolidation. Key vocabulary review. Before we finish, let me review the most important expressions from today's lesson. These are words and phrases you should be able to use in professional conversations, in writing, and in your daily English life. Distraction. Something that pulls your attention away from what you are doing. Distraction-free. An environment where distractions have been deliberately removed. Cognitively demanding, mentally challenging, requiring significant mental effort. Attention residue, the fragment of focus that remains on a previous task after an interruption. Surface level, dealing only with the obvious, without going deeper. Root of the problem, the fundamental, underlying cause and issue. Sustained concentration, focus that continues for a long time without weakening. In the zone, in a state of complete absorption and peak performance. Carve out time, to deliberately create and protect time for an important activity. Non-negotiable, something that cannot be changed or compromised. Block out time, to reserve a period in your schedule so nothing else can occupy it. Tolerate, to accept something difficult without reacting negatively. Outweigh, to be more significant or greater than something else. Deliberate, done consciously and intentionally. Actionable, practical, and possible to act on immediately. These 15 expressions are not advanced vocabulary for examinations. They are the language of professional life. You will hear them in meetings, read them in reports, and encounter them in any serious conversation about work and performance. Closing, let me end with something important. Cal Newport did not invent the concept of focus work. Da Vinci practiced it. Newton practiced it. Darwin practiced it. Every person who has produced something of lasting value throughout human history has, in some way, practiced it. What Cal Newport did was name it. Describe it. Explain why it matters in a world that is actively working against it, and what you can do, starting today with a lesson you have just heard, is protect it. One deep work session. Just one. Tomorrow morning or this evening or this weekend. Close the apps. Silence the notifications. Choose one task that matters. And give it your complete, undivided attention for 90 minutes. See what happens. In professional English, there's a phrase for this kind of outcome. The results speak for themselves. It means the evidence is so clear that no further explanation is needed. Do one genuine session of deep work, and the results will speak for themselves. Thank you for watching this lesson. If it was useful to you, subscribe to this channel and share it with one person in your life who struggles with focus and distraction. Leave a comment below and tell me, what is the one task in your professional or personal life that you would most like to give your full, undivided attention to? I read every comment. I will see you in the next lesson. Keep learning, keep focusing, keep growing.